What's up, you beautiful bastards? Hello, freak bitches. Welcome to episode number 17? Are we up to 17? I don't remember. I don't remember what fucking episode we're up to. Whatever episode we're up to of Off Mic Ike. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Ike, your host with the least. We be here, we be out here. Ike Parman, I'm ready, I'm rock and roll. Now, just before I started this stream, I wasn't in particularly good spirits, to be completely honest with you. I have had a very long year, and I think I said that last week as well, but I was I've been flat out, man. It's like 2026 is the year of busyness. I don't know who's fucking around with my voodoo doll, but can they put that shit down? Cut that shit out, brother. It's been a bit fucking hectic. It's been a bit crazy. But, you know, you do what you do, you keep up with what you can keep up with, and how do you say this in the Feng Shui terms? You live and you learn, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep on keeping on. You gotta keep that grind set up, that mindset, that hustle up, you know? Otherwise, shit ain't gonna happen. If it don't move, it won't move. You gotta keep making them moves, ladies and gentlemen. But welcome back. How we doing, Ike Palmers of the world, Ike Farmers, ladies and gentlemen of the chat. Now, as you may have noticed, mustache has been progressively getting bigger. Eventually, I'm gonna do the handlebars and look like a real fucking loser. Let's be real, that's what's gonna happen. Whoa, what's up, Falcon TNT? Welcome to the chat, brother. I'm fucking locked right now. Maybe I'm gonna have a little meltdown. Maybe it's time for some clip farming where we go a little bit schizo mode, because I am incredibly sleep deprived. I'm hopped up on caffeine. I've just had a cup of coffee. I've just got my gamer subs ready. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I got gamer subs number 2 ready to fucking rumble. So if you want to fuck around, you're gonna fucking find out this stream, motherfuckers. I'm telling you that much for free. For free, huh? Now, another little bit of Ike Palmer transparency here. I want to be honest. I want to build a connection with you lovely people out there in the audience. I was not prepared for this stream. I was so unlocked for this stream. I was editing the short last night for this morning's upload at like 2:45 in the morning. I'm doing my little tricks. I've got my keybinds all set up on Premiere Pro. I got that shit on lock now. I can do that shit in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Yeah, it don't take that long. Yeah, it's slop content. The fuck you gonna do about it, huh? I smoke my stogies wherever I want because I am a baller. You a little pussy. I upload whatever the fuck I want because I'm a baller. The numbers don't matter. You know why? Because I enjoy it. And that is true fucking comfortability. You know what I'm saying? If I started making money off this shit, I think I would hate my life. That's just facts, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I was so not ready for this fucking stream at all, whatsoever. So I kindly and graciously asked Careless Custard to help me compile a bit of the docket for tonight. So shout out Careless Custard. Appreciate that, brother. You on lock. You a legend. You a legend in the Ike Farmer community. But yeah, I suppose fuck this preamble. Fuck this bullshit. We're about to get right into the docket. We're about to get into the, I'm gonna say it again. We're about to get into the meat and potatoes of it all here on the Ike Palmer stream. Now, first up on the docket, recently it seems that all of the Creator Clash fights have been doing serious damage to the cranial innards of one iDubbbz, formerly respected and revered and feared, greatly feared content creator. However, in recent years it seems he's fallen off the deep edge. But his wife, Anisa, yeah, she doesn't like the fact that he was a famous YouTuber, and she's tired of living in his shadow. So here's a little clip, a little 30-second clip. Just a little, we're dipping our feet in the water just at the start of this stream. We're not getting into anything too crazy, not too much to chew the fat on with this one, because I think it's going to be a fairly I hate to say it, but it seems like L after L after L take from both of these guys. She's like the puppet master. She'll never actually get on stream, but she'll tell Ian what to think and what to do. It's such a sad situation, man. To lose your own personal autonomy to somebody. Now, it's highly speculated. I might even Google this. I might even get Gemini overview on this. Is Anisa iDubbbz's first relationship? Because if this... Wow. There were 4 girls he dated before he met her, but she was his first girlfriend ever. So that makes a lot of sense. He got that full, like, how do I say this in the most respectful terms? He got pussy whipped in the fucking brain, dude. They put a collar on him. Shock collar him. Since you love that shock collar guy so much. Anyway, let's get into this fucking clip.
Can we, chill on, like, asking... you know, if Ian's here or whatever, like, I get it's funny or whatever, but I don't know, I've spent, like, the past 4 years living in his shadow, so to speak, and, like, I've been trying to do my own thing on the internet for 7 years before I even met him, and...
Hey, look, I've been trying to do my own thing on the internet for the last 14 years, and guess what? I don't give a fuck about living in anybody else's shadow. He got big, and then... renounced everything that he ever got big for. So you're not really living in a shadow, are you? It's a shrinking shade, as it were. In fact, the opacity is getting lower and lower and lower.
It is painful. So that'd be great.
So my sort of question here is, do you... Now, this is getting a bit of silly take season here. This year's off to a great start for Anisa Jomama. But I think, is it a possibility that she's trying to tear down and completely ruin everything that Ian had worked so hard to build? The community, getting him to feel disgusted, actively oppose his own community that he built because she doesn't want to live in his shadow anymore. Mind you, shortly before Ian and Anisa got together, you know who else she was seeing? That's right. If you know the law, that's right. If you don't, well, I guess I'll tell you now. Chris Reagan, and they fit the same fucking archetype too, content-wise as well. Commentary broadly. That's pretty much the long and short of it. What's up, Careless Custard? This the guy that helped me compile the docket. Anyway, let's finish this clip.
Yeah, I'd rather have 5 people want to be here for me than, like, a bunch asking for Ian. Thanks.
Again, it's the same thing as what iDubbbz was saying by renouncing his whole fucking audience and the platform that he built. You made your bed, you lie in it. Same thing as all of these bread tubers who complain about people who are there and they hate when they don't do political content. You know what I mean? It's like you created this fucking thing. You have done a Frankenstein's monster, and you are Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a little bit silly to be like, oh, I want people to be here for me, and then when you're constantly living under I understand to a degree wanting to branch out from being a part of that, like, you know, you are lumped in with your partner. You want to be 2 individual beings, sure, that's fine. But if your content sucks, people are going to be there and want to see Ian, not you, my dear. Yo, what's up, Random Tomato Gamer? Welcome to the chat, brother. I don't know, it just feels like a massive fucking cope. They've both made their beds so hard, and they're refusing to lie in it. They have both eaten their cake and they want it too. The only reason why people know who you are, Anisa, is because of Ian. And the only reason why people hate Ian is because you are the Yoko. Not to quote one Hyde man, but that's just the truth of the matter. That's just the fact of the fucking pudding, brother. Alright. We're speeding through these dockets. This is going to be the quick fire. Episode number 17. This is where we cut out all the bullshit. This is where we cut out all the preamble. There's no bits. There's no funny business. We're getting straight to fucking business here, ladies and gentlemen. the cake saying, yeah, hey, look, Ted had it right. That's all I'm going to say. I think he was a lot smarter than what people give him credit for. Actually, people give him a lot of credit for his intelligence, but it was his fucking downfall. That's why you don't get vitriolic about stupid fucking sayings. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I think is particularly pertinent in this little case here. All right, so recently I saw this tweet. Well, actually, no. We're going to do a little bit of a context to this tweet. So recently on live stream on LolCow Live, a live stream set up by Keemstar to make fun of lolcows, I guess, such as Wings of Redemptions, I was about to say, I think I'm stroking out on stream, but that will be incredibly insensitive considering what I'm about to say next. Wings of Redemption was one of the co-hosts. Boogie and Tommy C, shot from the point. Dude, I don't know why the fuck he was on there. He wasn't a farmer. He should have been. I think they were pointing and laughing at Tommy. Tommy's a fucking legend. That's all I'm gonna say. You just did the emoji. Wow, don't clip that. Don't fucking clip that. Don't put that in a thirst trap edit of Ike Palmer. If anybody ever does that, that's it. It's over. It's over. I'm never streaming again. I'm cutting myself off from the internet. I'm unplugging my router and throwing it in the fucking nearest river or creek I can find. But fairly recently, within the last 6 months, Boogie had faked a cancer diagnosis. And there was a live stream even more recently. I think it was last week, perhaps. Now, Ike Palmer don't do his research. That's all I'm going to say. But it was fairly recently. And it appeared that he had a stroke or a heart attack or something on stream, live on stream. And so, this is his response to this. Okay, so to come clean. Last night, I had mild cardiac episode due to blockages and a potential blood clot. Not a full-on stroke. Gonna likely need stents and all of that shit. But basically, I faked a stroke. Fuck y'all. So he's getting really upset that people are saying that he was faking this stroke, this medical episode that happened on stream on LolCow Live. Now, you ever think about this, right? This is just a boy who cried wolf situation. You fake a medical situation one too many times or once at all, especially if it's in, like, the big C. You don't fuck around with that, especially with your, I want to say loyal and devoted viewers, but, you know, the people who point and laugh at you on stream. If you do that, they're gonna lose that trust. You know what I mean? And if you come out and say that I've had another medical episode, people are going to be looking at you with the side eye because you've already actively lied about a medical episode once previously in the past. And then to be like, wow, fuck you, I actually had a stroke this time. Or like, I had a fucking mild cardiac episode and you think I'm lying? Yeah, of course we think you're fucking lying, buddy. You've already lied about having the big C. And then he followed it up with, as long as I don't end up half dead, like my dad, I'll be happy. As alive as I currently am. I think he meant either. Either as alive as I currently am or dead all at once. Which, hey, look, I'll be honest. Whoa, okay, that one's a bit evil. That's a fucked up response. Look, Boogie's not the greatest person in the world. And he's, he always, I don't know how to say this in the nicest way. He always sympathy farms, you know. He has to have the biggest problems in the world, you know. Second time's the charm. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but basically, it's like if he has another medical episode, people are still not going to believe him. You know what I mean? And who knows? Who knows? Speculation. I'm letting the little devil on my shoulder speak into my ear on this one. It's entirely possible that he did. You know what I mean? Like, this one wasn't particularly real either. Or entirely as drastic as he has announced it to be. I don't know, is that a fucked up take? I want to take him at his word here, but of course, like, it's really hard to. You have to take it with a big fat fucking spoonful of salt. Big fat. Very apt. damn ad hom. Ike Palmer ain't got no points. He got to ad hom. Fucking debate bro tactics here. Bottom of the barrel debate bro tactics. But, you know, you say one thing one too many times and it turns out to not be true. You can't hate the player, hate the game. You can hate the player and the game because you are the player and the game and you played yourself, fool. Don't lie about medical shit on the internet. Or, better yet, don't lie either full stop. I know that's hard sometimes for some people. Or, don't put that shit on the internet at all. I think that's probably the biggest fucking brave move you can do. No, but like, you don't have to be posting this personal information. You know what I mean? If people don't believe that you had a stroke, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like, if you had an actual cardiac episode, and people in your comment section are saying, he faked it. Who gives a fuck? Go to the doctor, get better, come back. Maybe have a little 1 minute segment on it, like the next locale live when you're feeling a bit better to go back on live stream and just be like, you guys are fucking morons. Look, I got my medical certificate. And then he tried that with the whole Big C thing. And then it was proof that he was lying. You know what I mean? Like, just try and use it as a dunk. You can use this little thing as a win. You don't have to be posting it on Twitter for me to content farm. I think that's just like small brain. He's thinking too small. He's got to think bigger. He's got to think bigger, like his expenses on prostitutes. Thanks, Caleb Hammer, for that little tidbit of information. I could have gone my whole life without knowing that Boogie loves soliciting individuals of the night. But speaking of ladies of the night, there was a little fella recently who got caught being a little bit too home alone. The star Daniel Stern was caught by police for soliciting prostitution, allegedly. I love Drama Alert always covering their ass. Hey, we do the same thing on the Ike Palmer channel. Better safe than sorry. But he doesn't look like this no more. That's all I'm going to say. He looks a bit different. Either that or they just tried to use the worst possible photos of him possible. Yeah, this one. This is the one that I'm thinking of. Hang on. Open image in new tab. This one. You know what I'm saying? Brother's looking a bit worse for wear. I wonder, how old is brother? Isn't he like in his... He's born in 57. So I'm not doing the math. 68. He's pushing 70, right? He's pushing 70. But this guy... shock horror, he can't get no bitches. You know what I'm saying? I think he has full rights to indulge in that sort of activity if he so desires, as long as it's not illegal. But it was, and he got caught. He got caught home alone with his pants down, dude. That's how that ended up. Not very well for him. But the craziest thing for me is that everybody's talking about it for whatever reason. Let a brother get caught with his pants down. Sometimes you just gotta let it happen, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's entirely outlandish that a celebrity is soliciting prostitutes. Well, he's not particularly a celebrity anymore. He's a little bit of a D-lister. Should have just had a camera and said he was putting it on the hub. Yeah, I was doing it for my OnlyFans, dude. Would you subscribe to Daniel Stern's OnlyFans? Christ. It was a business expense. Write it off on tax. That's that type of shit. That's that thinking. That's where that fucking thought train's going. Ooh. Hey, look, let a guy try and get as diddled as he wants to. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best thing he could possibly do at this point in time. Not saying some motherfuckers are, what is it called? Unlovable, but he doing the best he can, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, next up on the docket, XQC says the internet has completely flipped, as Hassan now pushes viewbotting accusations with less evidence than ever after spending years calling Trainwrecks, XQC and others schizo for saying the same thing. We briefly covered this last week about the whole viewbotting thing. Hang on. One moment, please. Alright, we're back. We're so back. I apologize for the brief intermission. I just thought my house was getting broken into. Turns out, no. Toilet cleaning time. It's always toilet cleaning time when live on stream. Anyway, so going back to what we were talking about. Viewbotting allegations, right? Hassan is going crazy, pointing fingers at everybody else who is allegedly viewbotting. I don't know. Out of all the people who would probably be viewbotting, I feel like, you know, stones in glass houses kind of thing. But they've all been talking about this for years, and then all of a sudden they're the ones being accused of actively viewbotting themselves. The irony is biting, and you know, I hate to say it, but I actually kind of agree with Mr. XQC on this one. Let's talk about that, as GMM would say. I just have to change my camera a little bit so the clip farming works a little bit better. All right, here we go.
A lot of the info shows you're viewbotting it. Guys, this proves nothing. Yo, dude, chat. This is a genuine. It is such a good turn of events, chat. I wish some of you guys sometimes just paused and zoomed out and try to see it live from front.
Oh, hang on. Let's take that from the top, because XQC is completely cropped out of this bit. God damn. Imagine me being good at streaming. Who'd have thought? Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
On my eyes for just a minute. Everybody, a lot of the info shows you're viewbotting it. Guys, this proves nothing. Yo, dude, chat. This is a genuine. It is such a good turn of events, chat. I wish some of you guys sometimes just paused and zoomed out and try to see it live from my eyes for just a minute.
I feel like if I could see life from XQC's eyes, my life would be so much better. I would see everything in the way that chat thinks. I would be so good at Overwatch. My life would be completely fucking revolutionized. But ultimately, yes, what does this actually show about viewbotting? You admit to it, but I was wrong on the percentage of bots purged. Okay, so he's talking about the dip of viewership. What does he mean, the percentage of bots purged? Because it goes back up anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it rubber bands. You're acting like this 42 to 41, like 29 discrepancy. Not everybody's going to be able to watch every fucking stream you do every day. I don't see how this is definitive proof that he was viewbotting. That's the fucking craziest part to me. Glad you're finally out of the 43% active viewership gutters you were in, though. Your time as a right-wing outrage farmer is coming to a close, though. Midterm pivot. See, and then I watched another clip of Asmongold acknowledging that if there was no possible beef between Asmongold and Hassan, he would have no content to fucking farm, which is so fair. It's so fair, but he acknowledges it, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep fucking going. I'm not gonna stop, because he knows it's just internet games, bro. It's not that fucking deep. With Hassan, it's like all the tards flock to his channel. So real. Hassan's viewers can because they are all unemployed. They got nothing better to do. Yeah, exactly. I still guarantee that there's a large percentage of bots in his chat anyway. Not in his chat, but like in his viewership.
Everybody called all of us schizo for saying view bot shit, whatever. Train me, anybody knows calls it. We were all called schizos, right? And Hassan was those guys calling us schizos. And they're right there doing it in a worse way with less data. And he's there doing it with less information, less data, less proof, and he's wrong. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I
love the way this fucking guy talks. The Quebecois goes crazy style, dude. I'll be honest. The more that I see clips of XQC and the more that I become involved and try and see the world from his point of view, the more I come to actually really think he's fucking bowler. This guy just knows how it is, you know? And he's not going to sugarcoat anything for anybody else, you know? He's just the realest motherfucker out there. Sure, he has his moments where he's a bit slow in the head, but don't we all? Don't we all? Now, I recently saw this tweet about Fortnite and the fact that they added gambling to Fortnite that uses real money for users to gamble, basically. And it's this tweet from... Hang on, let's see. Does that cover the name? Yeah, okay. I don't want to fucking, like, oust this guy because I'm about to shit on him so hard. And I don't want everybody to flock over and shit on him uncontrollably. Dude, look at this. What a crazy thumbnail. This guy was the thumbnail editor in a past life. Staffo who? Nah, this fucker. So the tweet says, Fortnite, a children's game, now features slot machines that cost real money to play. Will spin 2 times luck, only usable in this experience. So, you see this part here, only usable in this experience? The craziest thing is, sure, it costs real money and it costs real V-Bucks, but the big discrepancy is it's an individual creator island, right? So it's not Epic Games who made this. It's an individual, I suppose, developer. It's an individual guy. It's just a guy making this shit up. You know what I mean? You're sitting here fucking grandstanding, standing on your fucking milk crate, yelling to the wall, which is 6.7 thousand people apparently, that they've added gambling to Fortnite. No, they haven't. However, if they did actually add it to the to the game, I think it's probably good to teach them about losses as soon as you possibly can. Because they say gamble responsibly, but you don't gamble responsibly until you lose a lot of money. No, that's not true. That's actually not true. You don't gamble responsibly until you just don't gamble in the first place, to be completely honest. Don't start, you won't have to stop. It's simple as that. Let's be fucking real. Let's be so truthful Ike Palmer style about it. Now, I ain't got no good segue for this. We're just sort of blitzing through topics at this point. If you're here from the Discord, you probably saw my little note that this stream's not going to be as long as my usual streams, which aren't that long anyway. So this one will probably be, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour max, because I am fucking rinsed from life. Life is draining my fucking balls right now, dude. And there's a lot of shit on the plate. But sometimes you just gotta pick up, move on, carry on, squelger. Simple as that. Now, there is this clip of Mizkif having his alleged first 2026 Crashout, reacting to a Pokimane clip of her complaining about being a woman. Now, I haven't watched this. I haven't vetted it beforehand. So he might get a little bit crazy. He might get a little bit schizo. This might be the way to go. I don't know. We'll see if we agree with him. However, Mizkif is an incredibly hard guy to agree with, especially when he's constantly crashing out all the time. They say first crash out of 2026. I don't know, this guy's been crashing out for the last fucking year and a half, dude. He's been on a plane that is on fire and running out of fuel and headed straight to the Swiss Alps, full of a soccer team that are gonna eat each other. Yo, what's up, Ape, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Anyway, let's get into this clip. Maybe we'll have something to say about, of our own. Maybe we'll be able to formulate our own opinion. Crazy.
I have an important question.
I can't stand this fucking bitch!
Okay, alright, not even gonna hear her out. Not even gonna be like, okay, like just... Sorry, I'm fucking... This is crazy. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't particularly like Pokimane either. I just... That's... Yeah, straight into it. Fucking straight into it, man. Like, no hesitation. Just straight up. That's a crazy start to the clip. Yeah, you're fucking right. He goes nuclear off the fucking bat, dude. She said like 3 words. She didn't even fucking have a comprehensive thought. There was no vocalization of anything. It was just the pure image of seeing her face was like, fuck this. He flips his desk, dude. What is that? What is that, brother? Chill out.
I have an important question.
I can't stand this fucking bitch! I hate you, Pokimane! I fucking hate you!
Look, all I'm gonna say is if he didn't burn his bridges already, there is no way that he's gonna be able to rebuild them now. You know what I mean? Like, all of the shit that happened, he has some repressed anger. I think he's got a lot more than fucking repressed anger, dude. I think he's got, a few screws loose. I think he's just, hey look, maybe he's just content farming. However, these are the very people that fed you, and now you bite their hand. You know, it's like 6 months time, he's gonna start crashing out about Ice Poseidon. He's gonna start being like, what a fucking dickhead, I fucking hate this guy. Why did he make me go to kick? What a fucking asshole. If that happens, I want a fucking award. I want somebody to clip this and post it everywhere they fucking can, imaginable. Because I am predicting the future here. I am seeing visions. God told me. That's my source, dude.
Eddie, can I have my contract now?
That's crazy. He doesn't even have his fucking contract yet. He's burning his bridges and he ain't got no contract, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Like, you act like you're the only one who has fucking problems, Pokimane. That's all you do. You act like you're the only one that... We all have problems, okay? We all have problems. You are just a fucking thought on the website, bro.
The fucking soundtrack in the background is blowing my mind too. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but he's acting like he hasn't publicly posted or streamed about his personal problems in his life. I don't know, it seems a little bit regarded, in my opinion. Again, stones in glass houses. Stop fucking throwing them, dude. It's not that hard. If you're gonna be a hypocrite, at least go like full force into it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just fucking be like, oh, you acted like the only one who's ever had problems and posted them to the internet. Brother, you've had several hundred crashouts about your own personal life on the internet that you've live streamed. In fact, you did a whole response video to a controversy you were a part of. Not pre-recorded, you live streamed it. I don't know, I feel like I feel like this guy also got brain damage too. He's in the what's the like real bad brain damage? Brain damage from head trauma. What's the name for that? This is my question. He's got TBI. They've all got TBI. They lack the ability to put together a coherent point, and they just project their own fucking problems, dude. They got smacked in the head once too many times when they got dropped at the pool 3 times too many.
Why don't you eat some of your cookies when you have your cramps, huh? Because your company went under business, bro. Your company went under. That's why you can't eat your own cookies.
All right, look, I'll be honest. That's the only valid point he made in this whole clip. Fuck our cookies. Maybe I should have a fucking crazy crash out like that. Yeah, fuck that bitch's cookies, dude. Fuck that bitch's cookies. The company went under because they were literally just Costco cookies rebranded, though. Let's be fucking real. I don't think it's too bold to assume that Mizkif got a lot of underlying problems. However, you know, sometimes there's a diamond in the rough, sometimes there is a needle in a haystack. You can make 100,000 bad points, but sometimes, why go to 5 or 6 stores when you can go to just 1? That's the kind of shit I'm on right now. God told me to make an OS. Bless up, Terry A. Davis. Bless up. Now, there's another little talking point I wanted to get into. The reason why RAM has become 4 times more expensive is that a huge amount of RAM that has not yet been produced was purchased with non-existent money to be installed in GPUs that have also not yet been produced in order to place them in data centers that have not yet been built, powered by infrastructure that may never appear to satisfy demand that does not actually exist, and to obtain profit that is mathematically impossible. This is just going straight back to that little Roko's Basilisk type shit. You know what I mean? That little, he made a little visual representation too, which I kind of like. The circular tech bubble, a Ponzi scheme of non-existence. Now, this isn't the first instance of bubble. Now, this isn't the first thing that I've seen that has this whole everything is so circular, you know, like it's so self-involved. It props itself up by, but this is the first time I've ever seen it basically being explained as it's shit that's non-existent, paying off shit that's non-existent. Wobble wobble. Did I say wobble? Did I flub? Did I have a gaff? Did I have a George, what's his name? George Bush moment. That's what I'm fucking thinking of. Dude, when I did this, I got taken to jail. Huh? Huh? Oh, Ponzi scheme. Look, all I'm saying is it a Ponzi scheme if you're literally giving yourself money? You know what I mean? Like, it's all the same guys. It's the same 6 guys in a room, all standing next to each other. It's like that. You know what it is? You know what it actually is? It's like that fucking... Here we go. Here we go. This is exactly what it's like right now. Why is it so quiet? Why is it always so fucking quiet?
How about the $20 you owe me?
Oh, yeah? Well, I only got 10, so here's 10, I owe you 10.
Thanks.
Hey, Mo, you owe me 20.
Well, here's 10 and I'll owe you 10.
You owe me 20.
Here's 10, I owe you 10.
Here's the 10 I owe you.
Here's the 10 I owe you.
Here's the 10 I owe you. Good, now we're all even.
So how the fuck did the Three Stooges predict all this, dude? Notre Dame predicted all this. They all compromised. They ate grilled cheese off the radiator. How the fuck did they know? How did they know? It was AI generated back in the fucking 40s. When was the Three Stooges out? I think the 40s. When did they get big? 1922 to 1970. Okay, so that could have been anywhere. That could have been anywhere within that time period. One would assume, because it's in black and white, I would probably hazard a guess it's probably the 40s. They look a bit older in that too. Now, there's a 5-minute clip I wanted to sort of break down and discuss. I was going to say briefly, but it's a 5-minute clip. We're going to end up talking about this for fucking half an hour. Let's be honest with ourselves, like Palmerers. Let's get into this shit. I have PTSD from seeing a graphic video at school. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything affects people very differently. Drastically differently, some may say. What may affect me not as badly, may affect you very, very poorly. But the problem here is if one guy... I've watched this a little bit. I think this is talking about the TikTok live stream or the Facebook live stream where the guy game ends. I remember when I was a kid playing Reddit 50/50 and I saw some real fucked up shit on there. I didn't go a little bit funny. I didn't go a little bit cuckoo. I remember watching the Bud Dwyer video. If you don't know what that is, don't look that up. I don't want to give anybody in the chat PTSD, but I remember watching that and going, this is fucked up. This is incredibly fucked up. However, it's very important to be able to... I don't know if this ties back into media literacy or what, but what you see on a screen, sure it's real and sure it's tragic, but you don't have to take it on board. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to carry that with you for the rest of your fucking life. And in this video, he later states that he was 12 or 13. I was a lot younger than that when I watched the Bud Dwyer video. That's all I'm gonna say.
No words to express how much of an impact that video truly had on me and how different my life would have been if I hadn't seen it.
This is Fraser. In year 8, he witnessed a live suicide video during break time.
As I turn around, phone gets shoved in my face, and it's a man blowing his head off.
How old were you at this point?
I would have been 12 going on 13.
Look, by the time I was this guy's age, well, by the time I was his age when he saw the video, I'd seen a lot worse than that. You guys remember Best Score? You guys remember Live Leak? You know what I mean? And this kind of story only provides a confirmation bias for the lawmakers in, for sake of example, Australia, who want to limit internet access for youth. Or completely get rid of it entirely. I don't think the discretion should be upon the government to... we talked about this on the Digital ID live stream, but I just think that it's a little bit crazy that this guy has had such mind-blowing, life-altering consequences from watching a video. Right? I've spoken about this in previous streams too, but like Funky Town, Ghost Rider video, the ISIS beheadings that had the fucking Coca-Cola advertising at the start of them that started the second adpocalypse. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff was very free and readily available. And I'm not saying that it should have been, but I'm saying that there is a strict delineation of things that if he saw that in person, Meat Spin, fucking Meat Spin, dude, Lemon Party, this guy wouldn't have stood 2 seconds on early 2000s internet. A lot of people were commenting on this clip and like on Facebook pages and stuff with this clip as well, basically saying this is the craziest way to milk government benefits. And look, I don't think it's too far from the truth.
The video had a profound effect on Fraser.
I was doing things I wouldn't usually do, clashing in the family, you know, behaving differently.
He wanted to hurt himself with a knife, big knife.
His dad, Damien, says he now understands why his son acted in the ways he did, going far beyond teenage angst.
But can this actually all be pinned on that one video that he saw? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you can equivocally draw that conclusion and say it was all because of this one video that he saw at break time when he was 12 going on 13 years old. I don't know, especially since it was 4 or 5 years later that he spoke about it to his therapist, which he brings up later in this video.
I didn't care whether I got stabbed. I needed to get this knife off him because I was not going to see my son hurt himself or worse. And but that wasn't the bad part. The bad part came after that for me. When I restrained him and he was in such a rage that he was still fighting back, and I had to accelerate the restraint, and it was hurting him, and he stopped. And then what came next will haunt me for the rest of my life, and that was he broke down in tears. He broke down, and we just hugged each other on the floor, and I held him, because that was worse than the knife for me. See,
now, I think that this is absolutely tragic, and I think it's very saddening to see that it got to this point. However, like I said before, how can you draw the conclusion that it was from this video? This might be answered later on in this video, in this clip, but for me personally, I can't understand the correlation between seeing a clip like that, seeing a video like that, and just completely going off the rails. Is it entirely possible that it was an underlying thing and then that just sort of set him off? I don't know. I don't understand the correlation or the connection being drawn here.
In him in this situation, and that was the worst. And I felt I'd done that to my son. That I had to put him in this position to save him. And he was so upset. He hadn't done it to hurt me. He hadn't done it to hurt anybody else. He hadn't done it in a malicious, nasty way. This was pure desperation. And I didn't feel any anger to him.
Why would you? I don't see how that is I don't know. That was just a very strange thing to be saying, considering the context of the rest of this interview.
I just wanted to let him know it's all right.
It wasn't until last year, 4 years on from unwillingly seeing the video, that Fraser was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
I didn't want to speak up because my friends would have just been, man up, you know? Points where I have nearly taken my own life, harmed myself.
But like I said, the correlation between this and the video, I don't, it was only that he spoke about it 4 years after and then got diagnosed, I was going to say posthumously, but retroactively. I don't know, is it grasping at straws, perhaps? Trying to put something on something else that it isn't really? I don't know, maybe the video did affect him really fucking crazy style. In some families, this stuff is looked at completely different. Yeah.
And I think it is just gotten to a point where I couldn't process things like a normal person would.
He's joining the campaign that wants to see smartphones banned in all schools.
There's always that risk, always those few seconds, and it could completely change someone's life.
But also, banning them at schools isn't going to do much, especially when, like, what do kids do when they hang out nowadays? They just watch TikTok together, right? I don't actually know, to be completely honest, but, like, people are using their phones actively in social situations. So one would draw the conclusion that if you're going to ban them at schools for this reason, you're going to ban them completely? And how do you regulate that without incredible overstep and overreach?
Experts say it's becoming increasingly clear Fraser's story isn't a one-off, that it's affecting a whole generation of kids. I spoke to Dr. Emily Zayner, a child psychiatrist, who told me thousands of children a week in England alone are being referred to mental health services for anxiety.
It's very, very common, unfortunately. It's very sad to say it, but Fraser's case did not surprise me. And I don't think it's in isolation. I think there are a lot of children who have struggled in similar ways to Fraser, that have not come forward and maybe not sought help. And it's devastating to see.
The government told me there's clear guidance, and over 99% of primary schools and 90% of secondaries have policies in place restricting phones. But children like Fraser are still being exposed to these videos. 4 years on, and he and his dad are still trying to put the pieces back together.
I have a huge amount of respect for my dad, how he's managed the whole situation, and without him, my mum, I don't think I'd be here talking to you right now.
Well, I just think that Fraser's been incredibly brave and strong, and I can't live my life without you, and neither can your mum. And both me and your mum think what you've been through is horrendous, and we'll always be here for you.
Whilst that is a sweet thing to say, I still... now, tell me if I'm completely off base here, but I really... For me, I can't understand the correlation between having seen this content and those disorders arising, you know? They give these kids so much anxiety. Like, the phone or the social pressure, or... I don't... Personally, I don't understand the correlation. If there was perhaps a medical study or a psychological study which could back up these claims, I would be more than willing to read it and try and understand it from a different perspective. However, where I'm standing at this current juncture, having seen those kinds of videos in my youth, I don't know, maybe me and Justin Wang are just built different, you know what I mean? Like, the early 90s, early 2000s internet was a completely different place. It was a Wild West, you know? So, for that correlation to be drawn, I don't know. I don't quite understand it. Just to reiterate my point on that. A lot of this stuff is a compound thing. You see one thing, then another, then it leads to it. And I think they're saying this was the catalyst for it. Right, okay. And maybe there would be something to be said about predisposition to it as well. I don't know. And like I said, I could be off base. I'm happy to say that I'm wrong and walk that back, but I don't know. Some people desensitized and others become anxious, etc. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that not that I became desensitized to it, but I don't know, it just kind of became what it was, you know. Maybe I did become desensitized to it, who knows. Anyway, on that note, I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm sorry to have that heavy topic just sort of pop out of nowhere, but I just thought it was sort of interesting, and I was thinking, like, for me personally, I didn't understand it, and I was very open to hearing other perspectives about it. But a vast majority of the comments, like I said, were basically just him, the basic gist of them was like, oh, he's just like going for hyper government benefits at this point. Hyper government benefits speedrun. which would be an interesting way to go about it, to be honest. Why not just drink so much soda pop that you get diabetes and then have your legs cut off and you can't work no more? I don't know. Alright, I'll be back in 1 second. Uno momento. Alright, we're back. Had to piss like a racehorse, but the racehorse won. Crossed over the fucking finish line, into the bowl, flushed down. And that is 1 cup of gamer subs that has been absolutely annihilated by myself. Now, next up, we have the... Sorry, boss, man, I have to look. Can you really build a frick-ass king bed? Brothers on that IKEA grind, dude. Welcome back, Falcon TNT. Radioactive P. Dude, if I had a gag? If I had a ball gag? Crazy leather. If I had a Geiger counter, that shit would be ticking off the charts right now. Speaking of Geiger counter, I haven't seen the new episode of Fallout, but I've been trying to keep up as much as I can with the series. Boy, I love Fallout New Vegas. I love Fallout New Vegas, and I love the fact that they've incorporated it into Season 2. It was inevitable. It was inevitable. I think what their plan probably is by, like, Season 3 or Season 4 is to end up in the Commonwealth. So they're just working their way across the US. I don't know how the fuck they're going to be able to justify that in Fallout travel terms. What are they going to do, get a caravan? What are they going to do, find the highwayman from Fallout 2? Come on. Come on now, man. Come on now, dog. Although, to be fair, in the Wild Wastelands perk in New Vegas, that was found in the Mojave Desert. Now, the big meat and potatoes of this situation, we're going to be talking about the Instagram hack. Now, a lot of people and news outlets have been posting this as if it's brand new news that has been happening. This is something that has been happening since 2024. This is something, and I'm not sure if you've seen it, but Instagram accounts requesting to follow you with, like, even something as simple as fake accounts being made, trying to lure you into resetting your password. It's old school phishing techniques that have been used for fucking years. Years at this point, to be completely honest. So, Instagram users told to ignore unprompted password reset requests after surge in emails. Instagram users have been told to disregard unprompted password reset requests following a surge in the emails. Users reported receiving multiple password reset emails without requesting one. The reset links appear to be sent from a legitimate Instagram email. Mark, give me the Zuck. I would be more than happy to give you that if you just tell me what that means. I'll do my best to provide it for you. Now, in the emails, users are told that Instagram has sent a request to reset their password. It provides 2 links to either reset your password or to let us know if you did not request this. Now, first of all, if you're the person who clicks reset my password when you get an email that you didn't verify, I hate to say it, you're either an old lady or you deserve it. Just straight up. If you're gonna be falling victim to fucking classic phishing techniques, hey man, I hate to sound incredibly heartless, but no, your shit gets compromised. But like I was saying before, there's like another technique that these guys use which is a lot more prevalent, is creating fake profiles with slight misspellings or an extra underscore. Unprompted reset? Sure, why not? Why not? Maybe I can make my account more secure by doing this unprompted reset. But people tend to, these scammers make fake accounts with, say for example, your name is Ike_Palmer. They do Ike__ Palmer, and then they'll send follow requests to your following, and then they'll go, hey, I can't get into my account, what's your phone number, and so I can reset my password through your account, and then you just tell me what the code is. Many such cases of this working. They're getting smarter. They're getting smarter. It's like those random spam texts that you fucking get, and they're like, hi Ma, I lost my phone. I'm texting you from this number because I dropped it in the pool when I went and was hanging out with Susie or whatever. Or like they're getting way too creative with it, and it's almost fucking working. The craziest thing is this fucking phishing technique is working. We're not going back to the Nigerian prince scam. That we're not going back to I have so much money and I want to give it to you, but I can't. I need you to send me $1,000 first so I can send you my riches, and then we can live happily ever after. That's a classic old school scam. They're evolving. They're evolving their techniques and their tactics, which, you know, gotta respect the hustle, gotta respect the grind. But once it's highly publicized that these techniques are being used, they no longer work, right? Well, they no longer work unless you're like I said, 80 plus years old. And then they come up with new techniques because that's how social phishing works. I heard they're using ChatGPT now with the API thing. Oh, that's fucking crazy. I love AI. It gets used for such evil things. People just love to take the beauty of things and they absolutely bastardize and twist the fuck out of it and use it for nothing but pure evil. I think it's awesome. Falling for phishing? Nah, I'm just doing high risk gambling. Imagine the one time it's a real dude, I'll be rich. Yeah, so true. So fucking true. Hey, look, I've had a lot of those emails. I've ignored them. The off chance that one of them is correct, I could have generational wealth. I could set my family up. My great grandchildren will never have to worry about anything ever in their life if this one email is real. Just give him a chance. Hey, next time, just give him a little bit of a chance, dude. In a statement shared with 9.com.au, a Meta spokesperson said the issue had been fixed. But the craziest thing is that they're able to send these prompts, these password reset emails, without even interacting with the initial person in it anyway. They did a skit in the Super Bowl TV show with the Nigerian prince being real. Yeah, exactly. There is an off chance, you know. Like Falcon TNT said, you gotta keep gambling. It's like the mining image, you know. The miner who stops mining does not get the diamonds. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep replying to those emails, dude. But it's very interesting that they had this exploit, and all of these exploits are being found very, very recently with a lot of different $1 billion, so fucking real, being found. Like, these breaches are just constantly getting fucking farmed hardcore these days. Why that is, I don't know. I couldn't possibly tell you. People are just finding their exploits, and because a lot of these platforms build off the same fucking bones as each other, they exist like spores in the husk of a fucking undead freak. They just build off of each other. All the exploits are the same, and they apply across the board. And they say it's been fixed, but this has been a fucking problem since 2024. I don't know if I truly, wholeheartedly believe that myself. You know what I mean? But with this, usernames, addresses, phone numbers, and emails were scraped in the alleged breach in 2024. So you can use this information to be able to send password reset requests if you have the phone number and you have the email. Which happens if the company that has all of this personal information is selling this information to third parties for their own uses in marketing or whatever. I think it's fucking crazy that Zuck can still fucking do that. And that's one of the big reasons why all of this information was, one, harvested and not stored securely, and two, just freely given out to the highest bidder. You're telling me the Nigerian prince with 10 gazillion trillion gorillion dollars goes to Zuck and goes, hey, I'll give you $3 gazillion if you give me everybody's information that has ever signed up to your platform. So he goes, yeah, sure, pockets it. You know what I mean? And that's why he went to fucking court. And that's why all of this is happening in the first place. But he was allowed to do it. He got off scot-free, I'm pretty sure, as far as it's concerned. And if he didn't, then that trial's going to be taking a few more years to fucking wrap up. $17.5 million profiles were compromised. 17.5 million. That's a lot of personal information. That's a lot of money that can be made from the data harvesting of those profiles. And thousands of people received notifications to reset their password following reports of a massive data breach. And as I said before, hey, if you're fucking falling for that, dude, if all the scammer got to do is send you an email, let them make their money. As far as I'm concerned, I sound like a heartless bastard right now, but let them make their fucking money, dude. So they responded on Twitter, which I find incredibly fucking ironic. Instagram responding to a massive security breach on their platform instead of, you know, maybe putting a little, you know how Wikipedia does, if you just paid the price of a cup of coffee, we could save our platform and we wouldn't have to ask for funding anymore. If everybody who used Wikipedia did that, we could save the platform. I think it's something that should be done. I've donated before, just saying. Not to moral grandstand on you, but Instagram just doing a little pop-up being like, we've fixed potential breach, but then that's actually acknowledging to the people who are on the platform that there was the potential for a breach in the first place, and then they're going to be less inclined to use the platform. So I understand it from like a fundamental user holding perspective, you know, like a user retention perspective. However, I don't know, I just think it's a little bit fucking weird that they're responding on Twitter or X. We fixed an issue that let an external party request password reset emails for some people. There was no breach of our systems. No, not this year. It was 2 fucking years ago, and then you didn't do anything about it, and they used that information to then do this later. And your Instagram accounts are secure. You can ignore those emails. Sorry for any confusion. Oh yeah, by the way, you know what? You can just ignore those emails, dude. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Just ignore them. Don't even fucking forget about it, dude. It's all right. There's not been a breach. Don't worry. Fuck me, man. That's the craziest fucking response I think I've ever seen. Maybe they should just stop being schmucks over at the Meta headquarters, dude. That's all I'm gonna fucking put on my big hat right now. Oh, you know what? I said this stream was gonna be a shorter one, and I lied. It's about the same length. I think it's just about average as a lot of the other ones. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this to you, but this live stream has now come to its logical conclusion. The docket is over. The topics are done. And I am honestly tired as fuck. I know I haven't been streaming for that long, but brother, don't leave me. I'm sorry, Random Tomato. A brother got to do it to you. A brother got to do it to you. Guys, just ignore the emails going to your main inbox regardless of frequency and perceived importance. Not only that, but the fact that it's actually from the official Instagram email. You know what I mean? Like, it's veiled in actual legitimacy. If it was something like insta@graham.com and that was the email it was coming from, I'd be like, yeah, right, just fucking ignore it. Like, it's really not that hard. And it doesn't have a profile picture or anything. It's so very clearly a phishing scam. I don't know. It's just a bit of a fucking joke, really. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the logical conclusion of episode number 17 of Off Mike Ike. You have been excellent and beautiful and wonderful, and I have been Ike Palmer. And I'm signing out for another week. Don't forget, watch the shorts. Watch the restreams. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends if you think they'd enjoy this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been wonderful tonight. And I'll see you all this time next week. Same place, same time. Peace.